So students, I welcome you to this online module on superconductivity and the nanotechnology. Okay, so this is the unit number 6 of the BSc SEM 6 of Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University Amravati. So we shall start from superconductivity. Okay, so before understanding the superconductivity, we must understand what is meant by conductor. Okay, or before understanding the superconductivity or the superconductors, we must understand what is meant by conductors. Okay, so how do we define the conductors? What is meant by conductor? A conductor is a material. Okay, it is a material in which electrons can easily move from one end to other. Okay, so if there are materials in which electrons can move from one end to other very easily, those materials we call it as a conductors. Okay, and what will be the meaning of good conductors then? Okay, so good conductors are the materials again in which electron can move with very much high ease. Okay, it can move with very much high ease, and such a type of materials will be called as a good conductors. Okay, and whatever conductors, good conductors, these definitions we will be defining, these will be limited to the electrical point of sense, right? So good conductors means what? Good conductors of electricity. Okay, and we know that metals are generally good conductors of electricity. Okay, metals are generally the good conductors of electricity. So let us consider, suppose that we are having a metal or a good conductor of electricity. For example, suppose that we are having a metal. This is a metal, right? And in this metal we know that since this is a metal, in metal we have free electrons. Okay, electrons are not associated with the, or electrons are not tightly bound with the lattice ions. These electrons are set free. Okay, we can say that these electrons are nearly free. So there will be so many electrons in the metals, and there will be so many lattice ions in the metals. Remember that these electrons are the free electrons. Okay, now why we are calling this particular metal as a good conductor of electricity? Because whenever we apply electric field, suppose that we have applied a battery to this particular metal. Okay, this is a positive terminal of battery, this is a negative terminal of battery. Then what will happen? Because all the electrons are nearly free, okay, they will be moving towards the positive side of the battery, right? They will be moving towards the positive side of the battery, and there will be the flow of current. So current I will flow through this particular metal, and what amount of potential difference we have applied? So let us consider that V is the potential difference which we have applied, right? Now if current I is the current which is flowing through this metal, because of the application of the voltage V, we have the relationship between this V and I, and this relationship is called as a Ohm's law, and it is given by V is equal to I into R. Normally this V is directly proportional to I, and the proportionality constant is nothing but the resistance. Here R is called as a resistance. Okay, and how do we define the resistance? This R is the resistance, and what will be the meaning of resistance? So we have already seen several number of times that resistance is nothing but it is the opposition to the flow of electrical current. Okay, opposition to the flow of electrical current. And who is producing the electrical current here? The electric current is produced by the flow of electrons. So resistance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of electrons. Okay, something is opposing the motion of the electrons. Earlier the electron was used to go from this end to this end very easily, but it will not go very easily. Something is there to oppose this motion of the electrons, and that opposition is called as a resistance. Now in order to understand the basic concept behind the superconductors, it is very essential to understand what is the origin of this resistance. Okay, what is the origin of this resistance, what is the meaning of this resistance. So let us focus on the origin of this resistance. So you see the picture is in front of you. We have a piece of metal in which there are so many positive lattice ions, they are fixed and electrons are nearly free, and when we apply the electric field, the electrons will be accelerated from one point to the other point and there will be the flow of electrical current. Okay. Now how this resistance is coming into picture, how this resistance is coming into picture, so that we have to see. So what could be the possible reason to offer the resistance to a flow of current? Okay, so this particular resistance will be created. Okay, how it will be created? So in order to see this, let us focus on to this particular thing. You see, any piece of metal consists of positively charged lattice ions. Okay, and these lattice ions, these ions are called as lattice ions. These are called as a lattice ions, and these lattice ions are not in a stationary position. These lattice ions are not in a stationary position. They will always be moving. They will always be moving about their equilibrium position, right? And what type of motion it will perform? Sometimes these lattice ions may be rotating. Sometimes it may be rotating. Sometimes it may be vibrating. And sometimes it may be rotating, vibrating. Rotating, vibrating. Okay. So what we have to understand, we are understanding the basic reason behind the origin of the resistance, and in order to understand this origin of the resistance, what we have to consider? We have to consider that metal piece is consist of large number of lattice ions. Okay, these lattice ions are not in a stationary position, they will be performing some kind of motion. Which type of motion they will be performing? Sometimes they will be rotating, sometimes they may be vibrating, and sometimes they may be possessing the combination of both type of motion, that is rotating and vibrating. Okay, now in order to perform any kind of motion, that particular species requires some kind of energy. So if we are saying that our lattice ions are sometimes rotating, sometimes vibrating, or sometimes rotating and vibrating, it means that they must be consisting, or they must be having some kind of energy. And remember that energy is a quantized phenomena. Energy is a quantized phenomena, just like the atomic species. Okay, we have seen in the atomic and molecular spectroscopy that every atom consists of positively charged nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Okay, these electrons are revolving in the around the nucleus in a fixed energy levels. Okay, so these are the energy levels of the electrons. These are the energy levels of the electrons. Similarly, whenever we are saying that lattice ions are having some kind of motion, it will be having some kind of energy levels representing that particular type of motion. Okay, so there will be some energy level representing some rotation, there will be some energy level representing some vibration, and there will be some energy level representing vibration and rotation. Okay, so what we have to say, that every lattice ions will be having some kind of energy levels, and there will be the representation of energy levels. Okay, and again the energy levels will not be a single, there may be so many energy levels. Just like in case of the electronic orbit, the electron may be found in this particular orbit also, electron may be found in this particular orbit also, electron may be found in this particular orbit also. So there may be so many energy levels corresponding to the motion of the electrons. Similarly, here also there may be so many energy levels corresponding to the rotational motion, there will be so many energy levels corresponding to the vibrational motion, there will be so many energy levels corresponding to rotational and vibrational motion. Now, as in the case of electronic orbit, electron does not revolve in one particular energy level, but it can also shift from one energy level to the another energy level. And whenever the electron shift from one energy level to the another energy level, there will be emission of or absorption of the energy. There will be the emission of absorption of energy, and this energy is emitted or absorbed in the form of quanta. In the form of quanta, and this quanta is called as photon. In case of atomic species, the emission or absorption of electron within different energy levels takes in the form of quantas, and these quantas are called as the photons, that we know. Photon is nothing but particle nature to the electromagnetic wave emitted by the atom. Okay, similarly, what we are saying about lattice ions, Thus all the lattice ions are performing some kind of motion. There will be different energy levels corresponding to this type of motions, and whenever there are different energy levels, the particular lattice ion can go from one energy level to the another energy level. It may go from one rotational energy level to the another rotational energy level, okay, depending on the energy. Suppose that lattice ion is absorbing some kind of energy, so it will absorb the energy and it will go into the higher energy state, right, similar to that of the electron. Similarly, if the lattice ion is in one particular vibrational energy level, it can absorb the energy and it can go to the another vibrational energy level, right. So similarly, if it is in the rotational vibrational energy level, one particular rotational vibrational energy level, it can absorb energy and it can go from it can go to the another rotational vibrational energy level, okay. So there will be the exchange, or there can be the exchange of the energy levels between these lattice ions. Now whenever there is a exchange, or whenever there is a shift from one energy level to the another energy level of the lattice ion, again this shift, or again this absorption or emission of energy level by the lattice ions will be quantized. These will again be quantized. Not any kind of energy may be absorbed, not any kind of energy may be released, only certain discrete kind of energy packets can be absorbed by the lattice ion and can be emitted by the lattice ion. So suppose that lattice ion has absorbed some kind of quantized amount of energy, so it will go from one energy level to the another energy level. It may remain there for some time and again it will come back to the original energy level. Now whenever it will come back to the original energy level, it will emit a photon, it will emit some kind of energy. Now in this case, this emitted energy in the form of small quanta is called as phonon, not photon, okay. See, the energy emitted by the electrons in jumping from one energy level to another energy level is called as a photon. Photon is also quantum of energy, right. Similarly, the energy emitted or absorbed by the lattice ion within different energy levels is again in the form of quanta, and this quanta is called as a phonon, okay. It has got different name, so its name is phonon, okay. Now what is this phonon? Phonon is also one kind of particle, okay. It is also one kind of particle. It is a quantum particle basically. It will have small amount of energy. Its energy will be again h nu, twice h nu, thrice h nu, like that, okay. These are all quantized energy levels, or these are all quantum packets of energy levels, right. So our phonons will be like a particle, okay, and they will have this kind of energy levels. Now again you imagine the picture, okay. Up till now we had a picture of only motion of electron. Now if there is a piece of metal, it will be having large number of lattice ions and it will be having large number of free electrons. Free electrons are not associated with the lattice ion, they will be free, okay, and lattice ions will not be in a stationary position. They will be vibrating, they will be rotating, and they will be vibrating and rotating. During this vibrational and rotational motion, they will be having some energy levels, and there will be continuous exchange of energies between these energy levels of the lattice ions, okay. So sometimes lattice ion will be having this much energy, sometimes lattice ions will be having this much energy, sometimes it will be having this much energy, and it will be exchanging energy among these, okay. Now while exchanging the energy among these quantized energy levels, there will be the emission and absorption of phonons. There will be the emission and absorption of phonon. So you see, this lattice ion will be vibrating and rotating, so it will constantly emitting and absorbing phonon. It will constantly emitting and absorbing phonon. It will constantly emitting and absorbing phonon. So this lattice ions will be constantly emitting and absorbing the phonons, right. So there will be the emission and absorption of the phonons, right. Now again I had already told you that these phonons are the particles, okay. It will be acting like a real particle in the lattice, okay. Now you see, earlier we were having only free electrons. Now there are phonons also which are traveling throughout the lattice. There are phonons also which are traveling throughout the lattice. Now whenever we apply some kind of potential difference, because of this potential difference there will be the electric field which is set within the material, there will be the positive side over here, there will be the negative side over here, and this positive side will attract the negatively charged electrons towards itself. So all the electrons will be trying to move towards from this side to this side. Okay, every electron will try to move towards the positive terminal of the battery because electrons are having negative charge. But now there are phonons also. There are phonons also within this particular material. Now what will happen? This phonon may be emitted by this particular lattice ion, and there is an electron. So this is a particle. This electron is also one kind of particle. So when the electron is moving from one point to the another point, it may collide with the phonon. When it will collide with the phonon, what will happen? There will be the collision between electron and the phonon, and again there will be the exchange of energy. Phonon will give some kind of energy to the electron, and because of this collision, electron may be diverted in the another direction. Electron may be diverted or deviated into the other direction. Because of the presence of electric field, electron has to move in this particular direction, but because of the collision of electron with the phonon, the direction of motion of the electron is now changed. It is scattered in some other direction. Okay, and phonon is also scattered in some other direction. Okay, similarly this phonon may collide with this particular electron, so electron will be diverted into another direction and phonon may be scattered into the another direction. So as many number of phonons are there, there will be large number of collisions. Okay, depending on the number of phonons in the lattice, there will be large number of collisions with the electron, and this collision of phonon with the electron is only the source of resistance within the material. Why the material is having a resistance? So material is having resistance only because of the scattering of electrons because of these phonons. Scattering of electrons because of the phonons leads to the phenomena of resistance. Okay, so understood what is the origin of resistance within the material? So origin of resistance within the material is that every material consists of lattice ions. These lattice ions do not remain in the stationary position, they are always in the motion. These motion require some kind of energy, and these energies are quantized energy. Okay, and whenever lattice ions are in this particular energy level, they can go from one energy level to another energy level, and again they can come back from higher energy level to the lower energy level. This absorption and emission of energy levels, okay, this absorption or emission of energies among these energy level are quantized, and quantum of this energy is called as a phonon. So what we can say, whenever phonon is incident onto the lattice ion, the energy will be absorbed by the lattice ion. Whenever the phonon is emitted by the lattice ion, it means that lattice ion is liberating energy to the lattice. Okay, so every time there will be the process of absorption and emission of phonons within this particular lattice. So earlier we used to imagine that there are only free electrons within the metal, but now there are not only free electrons, there are the phonons which are also traveling within the material. And normally whenever we apply the electric field, electrons are set into motion in one particular direction, but these phonons try to collide. These phonons always collide with the electron, and because of this collision, the direction of motion of the electron is changed. Okay, and because the electron has a different direction, it requires more amount of energy to travel up to this point, so that there will be the smooth flow of current. Okay, so this collision results into the resistance. This collision results into the resistance. So this is the origin of resistance. Again, this resistance, okay, we can have alternate formula also. This resistance is directly proportional to the length of the material and inversely proportional to the area of cross section of that particular material, that we know. And if you want to remove this proportionality sign, then you have to introduce another constant, and this constant is denoted by rho, which is called as the resistivity, of that particular material. Okay, and resistivity, yes, this is called as the resistivity of that particular material, right? So rho is called as resistivity of that particular material, right? Now this resistivity is dependent on the temperature. This resistivity is dependent on the temperature. So if you want to find out the relationship between this resistance and temperature, so you can write this particular formula: rho is equal to rho of T. Okay, normally this resistivity is directly proportional to the temperature. Now what will be the effect of temperature? Why I am saying that this resistivity is directly proportional to the temperature? So if I increase, suppose that this is a metal, okay, this is a metal suppose, and if I increase the temperature, what should happen? What should happen to the conductivity, or what should happen with the flow of electron? Okay, so what will happen? Because I am increasing the temperature, because of the increase in temperature, electron will absorb energy from this increase in temperature, right? And electron will move with higher velocity. Electron will move with higher velocity, and it can easily reach to the other end, so that there will be the rapid increase in the flow of current. Okay, so initially if you slightly increase the temperature of that particular metal, you will find that the conductivity of that particular metal has gone up, okay, and the resistance is gone down. But if you continuously increasing the temperature of that particular material, what will happen? The same energy supplied by this temperature will be absorbed by lattice ions also. So lattice ion will absorb the energy by the temperature, okay, it will go into the another energy state, higher energy state, and when it will bring down to the higher energy state to the lower energy state, it will again emit large number of phonons. So as you increase the temperature again and again, the number of phonons which are in this particular piece of metal, the number of phonons will be increasing again and again, okay, and since there are large number of phonons within this particular specimen, there will be the more frequent collision with the electrons, okay. So the lattice ions will be vibrating more and more phonons will be generated, and these phonons will be collided with the flow of electrons, so moving electron, and there will be the scattering of electron, and electron won't be able to reach the other end of the battery, other end of the metal piece, or other end of the battery, and the current would be decreasing, The material for which the resistivity goes on increasing with the temperature are said to have positive coefficient of temperature. They are said to have positive coefficient of temperature, because in this particular metal, if you increase the temperature, the resistivity of the material goes up. Why it is going up? Because there are creation of large number of phonons because of increase in the temperature. Some materials are having negative temperature coefficient. For example, semiconductors. In semiconductors, you already know that if you increase the temperature, large number of electrons are created, large number of electrons and holes are created, okay. So there the creation of large number of electrons and holes takes place, and that number is more than that of the creation of phonons. Means phonons are also created because of the increase in temperature, but number of phonons created because of the increase in temperature, it is less as compared to the number of electron and hole pairs created by that particular material, and therefore there are large number of charge carriers, and because of that there will be the huge increase in the current, okay, huge increase in the electrical conductivity and decrease in the resistivity. So the materials for which the resistivity decreases with the increase in temperature, such a materials are said to have negative temperature coefficient, okay. But we are limited to the now metal here, so metals are having positive temperature coefficient, okay. Now what we are saying, that if you increase the temperature, resistivity will increase and the conductivity will decrease. It means that the electronic current will not flow within the material if the temperature is very high, okay, that is understood. But what will happen if we decrease the temperature? Now if you decrease the temperature, what will happen? The lattice ions will absorb less and less energy, and it will produce less and less number of phonons within the material, and if there are less number of phonons within the material, there will be less number of collision of phonons with the electrons, and there will be the less scattering of electron. Therefore electrons can easily reach from one end to the another end, and there will be the easy flow of current. It means that the current electrical conductivity will increase, okay. So if you decrease the temperature, obviously the resistivity of the material is going to decrease. Okay, but can it become zero? Can it become zero? So that we have to understand. Initially we thought that this resistivity is directly proportional to the temperature only. Okay, it is a function of temperature, but no, even if we make this temperature zero, even if we make this temperature zero, what we would expect? We would expect that the resistivity of the material should be zero, but no, it is not. Even if you make the temperature zero, then also there will be some number of phonons. There will be some number of phonons. If you remember some amount of quantum mechanics, then we know that the 0 point energy is given by 1/2 into h into nu. 1/2 into h into nu means 0 point energy is also not zero. Even if we say that the temperature is zero, absolute 0 Kelvin, then also we cannot say that these lattice ions are not vibrating at all. They will be possessing some kind of minimum energy, and that minimum energy is not zero. So if it is not zero, it will be producing some kind of phonons, and that phonons are able to scatter some of the electrons. Okay, but remember that this resistivity is not only dependent on this function of temperature, it also depends on the another factor which is denoted by rho 0, which is denoted by rho 0, and rho 0 is called as residual resistivity. Residual resistivity. What is meant by residual resistivity? So residual resistivity is something which is intrinsic property of that particular material. Means even if material is not having resistivity because of all other components, it will have the resistivity because of this particular component. It is the intrinsic property of that particular material. Okay.